That's weird. Okay. We're going live. Yeah, I was like, not I muted like the desktop audio, but it should be. Yeah, you just see Soundwave pressing the button. Okay. All right, I'm turning it on. God.
Wave.
Okay, now I'm live. I
Shut
turned
up,
on the
bitches.
audio. All right.
Alright.
Let me just open up the right window. Turn off the
Let me
audio.
smash.
Oh my god, really?
Okay, there we go.
Dork. Osaurus.
All right.
Ha, Hika's not a first in chat.
All right. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right. Wait, that's not the right standby image, but whatever.
Ah!
It's the image. It's the image. It's like the actual blog site. So, before we get started, I just want to tell you the basics of this lovely live stream. So, a few days ago, this famous thing was brought up in the conversation when we're talking about cringe fast. I don't remember, and it's like, you know what? I need to read this to people because it's like a good example on how not to create a bad character.
It's a good example of how not to create a character.
And probably
And a laugh. A good laugh.
Yeah, of Toho, like especially with like Toho, because that should be like a guide on its own. Because we have purists out there that like, I hate bad characters, but they could work in.
This is the reason why.
Yeah, this is why they give them a bad name. I think that could be said for like any series, honestly. Unless like player character games like Fallout, like your character can do whatever they want, unless you're the lone survivor.
Well, just remember, this is not up anywhere. It's actually an old file that we had to take off of site before it was taken down. So.
Oh yeah, so basically this was from a blog on Tumblr called Marysuefacepalm, which it's still up. It didn't get shut down. It's just been inactive for like maybe the last time it got posted was back in 2014. So it's been inactive for years. And this particular this particular blog post was actually taken down, but I think
because the owner of the character bitch.
Basically.
What a bitch!
No lie, I think that's been common with like other people too that figure out that their terrible character was in this blog, and you know now how this hell site is. You can't.
Here's a question though.
Yeah,
but why can't these people actually take criticism about their character? Maybe reflect on it and learn.
Because people
because
are
if they
stupid.
actually take criticism, their character wouldn't be shit.
Exactly. I mean, yeah.
Well, that's their fault then.
Remember, Unknown, trying to argue with an idiot is like trying to play chess with a pigeon. You could have the best strategy in the world, but no matter what you do, the pigeon is gonna get on the board, knock over the pieces, strut around like it owns the place.
That's like giving art critique to a bad drawer or a bad artist. True story. But yeah, so.
Oh snap!
I was fortunate. I was lucky enough to save it before it got removed, to give us this lovely, lovely article, which I clearly despise after all these years. So
but time to rip a new one.
Yep.
It's also the only Walfus that ever got on that site.
That is true. Like anything that I'm not
the only
sure.
and one of the Toho characters.
Yeah, probably one of the only Toho characters in this blog. I know there's like a lot from like One Piece and I think Kingdom Hearts too. I don't remember.
Oh Jesus Christ, no!
Okay. Yuck! Already yuck.
A lot from Naruto, a lot from Death Note, there's a lot from Fairy Tail, and there's a lot from Final Fantasy. So really, it spans the board of
trash. Like there's a lot of it. A lot of them.
Like Marysuefacepalm was a special website that we can't find anymore because people don't like criticism.
Well, we still care can find it. It's just it hasn't been
It
updated.
hasn't been on. It just hasn't been active.
But we haven't found anything new. Because
Yeah.
nowadays, everyone's all triggered about certain their little thing or feminine or whatever. Other crap. It's usually Tumblr or whatever
That
shit.
or the guy who hosted it just stopped giving a shit.
Well,
Or
like,
gal. We don't know who it was.
Yeah, there's
Guy
several
or gal,
mods.
whatever.
Yeah, there's several mods. Like, they probably, like, don't want to...
They just stopped giving a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might have moved on, did their own life thing.
Yep.
Bada bing, bada bang.
But, hey, you gotta...
That or all this was cancer to them, and they
But
decided,
now-
to say, yeah, we're done with this shit, and we're sick of bleaching our eyes after seeing so many shit characters.
I mean, it's Tumblr. I don't think... It's like, as much as I hate this hell site, I use it for art references and other stuff, and basic shit posting, but, yeah... We just can't find stuff like this, like, as
Holy.
it used to be. So, go ahead and dive in. This was posted by an anonymous user, as far as we know. I don't know, we would good thing that they remain anonymous all these years. I never even had a single theory on who it is, because I'm just that dense. But let's go ahead and read quote by quote, and I do have, like, I actually took notes, like how this would go. And like how I would want to like discuss in deeper anything. It's like I would normally people would be like, disclaimer, do not harass someone, blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't care, I don't give a shit. All right.
Social is very old, so
It's
at this
old.
point it won't matter.
Yeah, this is like probably
No, it does matter because the person who made this, their character.
it still looks the same, but
It is the same.
Yeah, it literally.
I mean, he's got more powerful, from what I've seen.
He's gotten more powerful and he has less Toho thing, but it's still just.
Apparently, people
What
in
the
the
fuck?
lunar army have to wear these special spandex suits, and we have a Lunarian with us. I don't think that's true.
Okay.
Yeah,
And their suits. I thought they were
Hey,
wearing. I thought the lunar emissaries wore schoolgirl uniforms.
That's for Toho. His thing, they want spandex uniforms. I've heard that Roy Mustang wants all the women in the, wants to wear
tiny mini
tiny
skirts.
mini skirts.
Mickey,
Yes, thank you guys.
Mickey, Mickey, dare you enter my magical realm?
Alright, let's start.
Okay, let's get this shit show started. Everyone get your barf bags ready and let's dive right in.
Remember, okay, so I'll have
Oh,
the
God.
floor open for discussion after I be like, okay, now let's talk. Alright, so, hiya, this is my first review, so please forgive me if I do errors or my computer decides to screw up some stuff. Ooh. Also, I would like to be anonymous, please. So let's get on with this scary stew, and I'd rather not, please, God.
Get your butt. If you don't have a barf bag, please get ready for the barf bucket. If you don't have a bucket, then please, when you feel like you want to barf, run to the toilet as fast as you
No, we
can.
need barrels. We need barf barrels.
To everyone else who has a stronger constitution, place your head and kiss your ass goodbye.
So,
I'm good.
by this tiny icon, you can still tell it's a badly designed character.
One sec. Actually, I think I'll get you an updated version if you want to show that. One sec.
Not for the this cannot hurt the children's eyes.
I love how I write in CH and it automatically goes to his DA on my end. Why? I've only went to his page twice.
So, the character in question of this article is called Ren quotes Zero Kazami. Totally not related to Yuka Kazami, but let's go ahead and keep reading on.
Spoiler alert, he is.
Apparently.
From what,
Somehow.
From what I can gather from
Bullshit.
different
Oh,
stuff.
One sec. Here's an image for you, Mickey.
Oh god, I can't. I don't
Thank
want
you.
to look at it.
Oh no, don't worry. It's not bad. It's just for everyone who on the stream to see.
Yeah, put it on
One
the-
sec. Where are you? There
I
you.
don't know. I don't know if I put on. I don't know if I put in links for chat. I don't know. I'm not looking at it. But
No, I gave it to you in PMs.
okay. From what I can gather from different stuff the creator post about him, he was a human from Scotland who found a magical sword that warps the dude to Gensoko where he meets Yuka Kazami. She apparently brainwashes him into thinking that That's her son, and then he dies and is reincarnated as an immortal dragon god of chaos. I don't know how Hinduism works.
One-
I don't know if reincarnation works like that.
No.
No.
I-
Don't.
What
I-
the
don't
once
work
fuck?
like that.
It's already
I once again have to say, dare you enter my magic realm?
First off,
As, come on, that's some fetishy bullshit right there. Mind control and then, like, power trip? Yeah. Well, actually, mind control and then mother. That's a little bit creepy.
that's creepy.
My thoughts are how to kill a character in 5 words: immortal, dragon, god of, and chaos.
I'm not sure if
Come
the image,
on.
I put an image in the. I put the image just.
Yeah,
first
see
off.
it.
Okay.
Let me tell you why that's bullshit.
All right. So.
I hope one day. I hope he finds out that we're actually doing this. I wonder how he would act.
Okay.
Well,
so-
What the fuck?
Knew about pay because he bitched.
I know, but when he sees this come back up, it's like, oh, this shit again. You motherfuckers! I'm gonna do whatever my
Alright,
character
guys.
does.
Let's
let's
Kidding.
continue.
Let's get back to
Continue
the
on.
rest.
Yes.
Continue before I lose my sanity before it gets lost
Too late.
internally. Okay, creator, did you do your research? Out of all the Toho characters, Yuka has the worst human friendship level, but I don't know if that's true. Is it true?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
In the various printed works, Yuka is stated as being friendly towards. Though, she's also listed as one of the less unnecessarily violent. She's not a friend. She's also not particularly aggressive.
She just wants to be left alone.
Yeah, like I think one of the theories is that the reason why she's listed as human friendliness level worst in Aku's thing is because she told Aku to do that, so that she'd be left alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like she wants to be left alone. What makes you think she will go towards some dude from Scotland?
And why the fuck would she mind control him and adopt?
Wait. Is this a self-insert in a way?
He
Yes.
Okay. He
Oh my
denies it.
god!
Here's the story. He denies that it's a self-insert, but
Bullshit!
the
First thing you
cookie,
say is
It is.
Scotland.
the cookie is crumbled. It's a self-insert, which I'm gonna say some can be pulled off well, like custom characters in like video game or like I don't know. We're gonna say
I
some
somehow managed to pull it off.
Yeah, I pull it off all the time. Like my Saints Row character. But anyway,
Well, I'm sorry, Mickey. I just see you flying all the time in that.
and shopping. Okay, also
And shopping.
she hates humans with her soul. She is not going to have Shiro as her son. Most likely she would have killed him, and I'm pretty sure that is true.
Killed and eaten.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ew, why would you eat garbage?
Eaten, we don't know. Killed, probably.
Yeah.
Well, yokai, remember.
Yep.
That is true.
So,
You have to wonder, does she eat people or does she just photosynthesize?
Anyway,
Because either is a valid option, honestly.
also,
Maybe she could do both. Anyway.
Also, I did not know how I didn't know. I didn't. You know. Ugh.
yeah,
I didn't.
Okay.
It
I
said
don't
it
think
about
you know
English.
how it works.
He
Grammar.
can't grimmer. He can't grimmer. Okay. Also, I didn't know. I don't think that's how reincarnation works. I'll reword that. In order to be reincarnated, or at least how I think it works, you would have to done some divinity in your bloodline to have it happen. All that Zero did was get transported to Gensyoku by a sword, so no reincarnation. I currently have no problem with the chaos manipulation because Toho is known for very weird powers. Hence the dog that can spot out Buddhism. I just hope it doesn't turn into God mod.
Spoiler alert.
It does.
Darn.
Hi, whoever.
Huh? What?
That of acquiring of royal blood for reincarnation is not exact tech true, depending on what slice of Buddhism you take, or what slice of reincarnation you take. In reality, reincarnation, as most people would know, it is just the idea that when you die, you are reborn as something.
Yeah, according to like the Hindu religion, reincarnation is a cycle that depends on how well you did in your previous life, in your current life. So if you did bad in your previous life, you'll reincarnate into a lower life form, like you would be like a plant or something.
Oh.
He currently lives.
It's based on the Buddhist reincarnation, which there are actually reincarnations. The idea of reincarnation in most religions, like even technically Christianity and what would they call it? What do they call mythology?
Which mythology?
What mythology?
Greek believing
mythology?
like what do they call it? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Even in Ionistic ideology, there is concept of reincarnation. Like if you do well and reincarnate 3 times, and do well in all 3 lives, you go to elite, or whatever they call it. Essentially, go to the party of the afterlife.
Yeah. Essentially, in any form of reincarnation, it is based on like how well you do based on deeds, not because you got transported randomly to another world
by a sword.
Yep. I would say becoming a dragon god of chaos is pretty high up there. You gotta be.
I don't even think the Pope would have reincarnated to that.
No,
And not just that, immortal dragon god of chaos.
Immortal.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Pope Francis is pretty damn awesome.
No, but he wouldn't become a dragon of chaos and all that.
Dear God, no. He's gonna be like a... What's the opposite?
Maybe a holy dragon, but not chaos, because chaos would usually mean you did bad.
Do holy dragons
then-
exist?
Then why the fuck?
Imagine Pope Francis as a dragon god of chaos. That would be some of the funniest shit I'd ever.
I hate this image.
Part of religion. They teach friendship and values. Why did you make Pokemon exist? Because I can.
God, okay, so let's talk about the residency of this particular character. He currently
So before we move on, I will say this. It is possible to make a foster relative of Yuko work. For example, Noriko Amawara from White Flower of Summer, in which Yuka begrudgingly is forced to end up adopting Noriko, and it's actually quite heartwarming.
Oh,
But
yes.
it's not the means to an end to make her into a dragon god of chaos.
I can't.
Well,
Or no brainwashing, no.
Yeah, Badge, you can go on that. They're not making her into Dragon God of Chaos. He's Dragon God of Chaos with mommy issues that, I'm not going any deeper into that magic.
Yeah, I've seen enough stuff about that one.
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
And this one doesn't even have any tentacles involved. Yet. Yet, probably.
He currently lives on the moon and is now the god of the eclipse and worshipped by the moon buns and is trying to take over the world. Open for discussion.
How the fuck is he worshipped by
The moon buns?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
How the fuck?
Wait. He was living with Yuka and all that. Now he's on the moon and is the god of the eclipse.
How?
What the fuck?
How?
Why? What? What?
How is this?
Does Bun approve?
What?
What? Okay, Grant, I have seen Chaos Dragon on the moon before, aka a restaurant to another world. But this is what the fuck? And whoever's watched that
Yeah, yep, heard.
at least that's actually okay.
God.
There's a reason for that one. But no. This is what?
I don't understand.
First don't get Tokyo and all that, and then whatever happens, I don't know. And now he's currently living on the moon as the god of the eclipse.
Okay, how did he get that level of power again? Like,
What?
how did the rabbit?
Apparently, he was reincarnated into.
Oh yeah.
Because
What?
that's how reincarnation works, guys. Come on, we gotta stick to that. Every religion makes you. In every religion of reincarnation.
Bakuda,
Bakuda, just
up.
Ah.
Talking over me.
Ah.
Yeah, no. You're talking over. It's her story.
All right, guys.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah.
Leave him be, man.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Every reincarnation iteration, you become a god, chaos, god dragon of chaos or something. Totally. OP says, I don't have a lot of knowledge of the Lunar City as it's not really talked about unless you read the Toho printworks, but I have read the Lunar City is known as being superior technology, and the Lunarians have their own set of gods. I don't think the Lunarians are just going to stop worshipping their gods to worship this new one. Also, really? Trying to rule the world. Isn't that a bit too cliche? Most villains are done that over and over and over. And so if you try to take over the world, you'll get fantasy heaven by Rimu taken out of existence by either Yukari or someone else because you're probably going to endanger Gensoko, as we all know how order is put into that world.
Yeah. Don't fuck with them.
yeah, nope. Well, the way he's acting like we've seen what happened with the fortune teller, right? Everyone here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, you killed that guy! What about the spell card rule?
The what now?
The what?
What?
But no,
Technically, in all seriousness, the guy really was threatening the balance had he existed.
yeah, because he was a human who became a yokai, was he not?
But more importantly, he was going to basically be like, hey, let's get all the humans to become yokai. We'll become immortal. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, and what is this guy doing?
And do you really think Lunarians are gonna be like, oh, that's our new god, let's get rid of our old gods and worship this god mod?
Yeah, also...
Okay, that one I do have a little bit of issue with just because of the way the religion or that the Lunarians right is not monotheist religion. They're Shinto, to a boiled down, pure extreme, which Shintoism, know anything about it, is about worship Kami, aka the god of whatever. There are hundreds upon thousands in Kami. It's not one god.
It's polytheism.
So it's entirely possible that they might have worship, but he would be one of millions.
In other words, nothing special. He's just a minor Kami. Maybe.
He just got there, so he'll be very, very minor then. Like, I don't think they won't automatically a whole bunch of like, bow before our god of chaos or whatever.
I also get that, like, there's nothing wrong with creating a character that has villainous, like, traits. I think it's awesome. The thing about creating a villain character is that they have to have, like, they have to be complex to work, because it's like, if you like if you like a villain, then you gotta have, like, a good explanation why you like a villain. Because, like, a great villain is one that's complex and makes you think that they might be right with their point of view. That's kind of how I think of a good villain is. And
Hey, Spaz, did you make a villain list recently of what like the most common things were?
Well, I made a list of all the variables that go into villains, or at least most.
Yeah. Say that for the chat because that's actually those were some really good points. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen many of those examples you said. So if Mickey's okay with that,
I'm fine with this. I'm just gonna add in my own 2 cents. It's like creating a villain, because I've made villains. Like,
yeah.
when, like, my one bad Gappy fic, my first ever Gappy fic, with a female protagonist, no big surprise. I basically base it off, like, the typical traits that all those Gappies from, like, other fics have. Like, tends to be a loner, really has nothing going on with their life, using the means of the circle as escape route, like escapism. So that's kind of how I wrote my villain in that novel. But like to have like a bullshit character that just wants to take over the world with no actual death other than being hypnotized by a powerful yokai and then suddenly becomes the god of the lunar world, I don't think that's a good villain.
No,
Bow
it's
before
not.
me. Bow before me, because I am your new god. Why should we bow before you? Because this is my story, and fuck off. Okay, that makes so much sense. Oh, bow before our evil overlord.
Okay. Last part. I'll stop here on the bottom because the rest are other people's OCs, and we don't really care about that. He's married to Oku, and they have a kid. Lives with the wife.
Don't tell Minnie.
I'm telling Minnie.
No, he'll be pissed.
The Wakasaki sisters.
Sisters.
And Yuka.
Watatsuki.
Wakasuki.
Wakasuki.
Yeah, it's Watatsuki.
Okay, here's the thing. He lives with a bunch of married women, and they are married.
Yeah, they are canonically happily married.
So, he's married to Oku, Oku lives in the underground, so why? And when he's living on the moon. Two,
Because Pharaoh.
Yeah. Two, he lives with the Wasuki sisters, who are happily married. Why?
Because Pharaoh.
Also, I love that, literally the expression from the Weasley kid on that you see at the bottom of the stream right now. This is my expressions right now. And of course, we have his mother is Yuka. The fuck is this shit?
Because harem.
It's just
harem, yes.
And mommy issue.
Or mommy fetish.
This is so stupid.
That too.
I don't know.
What is this?
Remember, there's brainwashing and all that.
What is
like,
this Freudian bullshit? This motherfucker.
This is was it 4chan? No, 4chan made a game at least, so I can't really say much about that.
I don't know that game, which is sad.
Roy was playing it a little while ago, but no. I don't know what to put this on. What level? This is not fanfic.net level, because sometimes you can find really good stuff there.
This is like 2chan level.
Thank you.
You know what? Yeah, that is 2chan. Okay, screw that shit. I had issues with that marriage to Oku. In perfect momentum, in strict sense, Oku is described as someone with a hollow head who doesn't know much about the surface, as she lived underground all her life. Not to mention in subterranean animalism. She wanted to test her nuclear fusion powers by trying to beat against Yoko to a crisp.
Wait.
Do you really think that she wouldn't want to get married or have a child? Or if she's incapable of having a child with all that nuclear radiation? She probably doesn't even know about marriage. Even so, her master Satori would probably disapprove of it since A, she probably wouldn't trust Oku with such a huge task as marriage and parenthood if she can't even trust Oku with some eggs.
I love how this person is more concerned about Uto getting married than the fact that he got knocked up.
Shotgun wedding, everyone!
Having a kid is a lot more of a responsibility than marriage.
Yeah, but what was the order? Did they have a kid first, then marriage, or was it marriage, then a kid?
Probably the first.
That's a good question.
Because if it was she didn't have a kid first thing, then yeah, marriage would be the major problem at first.
Actually, if I could remember, I'd only been sick of marriage even happened. Ooh, scandalous. And B.
Don't tell Minnie that.
And B, since I was like, oh no, Minnie's a cuckold in this profile. And B, since Zero is such a bad guy.
This is the only time that I can approve of Cuck.
God. It's such a bad guy.
Cuck a motherfucking do, bitch.
And for reference to people who don't know about Mini Witch 3 actually wrote a good ship between an OC and Oku, in which it actually works and it actually builds up the relationship.
And Oku is around.
Yeah, but this isn't about good OCs. This is about tearing apart a bad one.
This is how you don't make one. It's like there's ways to make it good. It's just that this is a bad example. Okay,
yep.
B. Since Zero is such a bad guy, I don't think she would want Oku interacting with him. And C. Who's going to watch the flames of hell if Oku is being all motherly and such? I don't know. Ask Minnie.
But I'm going to say for B. Well, granted, Oku was the main bad guy for essay and all that, but this guy is evil overlord and all this, and look at me, Moon, and whatever. I don't know. I actually want to bleed through my
bad
brain.
guys like darkness.
I actually want to bleed through my brain from listening to this shit.
God, I think I cut an artery, guys, because of all this edge.
Tell me about it. People said
Doctor,
my shit's
I
edgy.
would like the part of my brain responsible for lobotomy, please.
I need to play Old World Blues to get a new brain.
And this is why this is called Zero Syndrome.
Because your brain cells will be led to zero after you read this.
No, it's because Zero causes all this.
What? No, the biggest.
Not
enemy
Zero.
to
It's Chaos Overlord
Yeah,
disease. Sorry, I'm
the
saying
big-
Zero.
No,
Fuck.
you-
It's okay. It's the same person.
Let's be fair. This is why people say don't divide by zero. Because you get shit like this.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for fixing that up for me.
Oh, so why is he living with the Wakasaki sisters other than the fact that they're girls and you're a god, so you live at a shrine? I don't really think the Wasaki sisters would be so chummy to him. Seriously, think.
I just for the fact that he's from Earth make the wasabi taken.
The wasabi system?
I'm calling them that now. I can't even say that word.
Wanatsuki.
Watatsuki.
What
I
the
mean, serious. Do you see what the Worcestershire sisters did? Main characters when they came to the moon?
Kick their ass.
Wait, did you say Worcestershire sauce sisters?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Just change.
yeah, Spaz. I said the watermelon. What about it?
The Waka-
Okay.
Alright, enough names for the Washington sisters.
Yeah.
Angry
What's the-
bus noises.
Yeah. I don't think the Waka Flocka Flame sisters would be so chummy to a god of dragon lore stuff.
Yeah, the
Water
Dub
Buffalo
Dub sisters really shouldn't care. But
Yeah.
I just found something else too. Ooh, something recent. Apparently, there's 2 versions of him.
Nani?
Yeah.
There's the Lunar Emperor and the Gensokyo version.
I don't think we should add 0 to 0 because that's gonna get a bad
This-
malfunction.
I don't know why he added the Sakya in this picture, but I think maybe he's a 2-timing whore?
It's a okay. Okay.
Well, we
so,
already knew he was a man whore.
That thing's a man?
I mean,
Let's focus on the character mainly.
I'm looking at this wrong. I keep looking at this wrong Weasley gif. That's like.
I am focusing on the character.
Yeah, we are talking about the character.
Okay.
All right. So.
Yeah, no, I know. You never insult author. Insult the character. All you want. Never insult the author.
Well, we'll
Because
get
the
to
fact
that.
they're getting out there and doing something, even if they're making a really shitty character, they're still getting out there and doing something.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of actual guts. Even if your character is terrible, I can respect going out there and something.
Okay, we're done with this mess. Oh no, we're just started, folks. Okay, we're done with the bio. Now here's the worst part. His power level. Holy shit, it is
It's
so
over
god
9,000!
That's the level of this bullshit. I want to scream, but I'll bear with it. First part. Close range attacks and such. 0 has an arsenal of weapons. The sword of body and mind that destroys people's memories and summon wolves. His
What?
keyblade. His
Yep.
two-handed
What?
sword.
Yep.
No, here's the
what?
kicker, guys. The name of his sword. Lunar Edge.
I would like to
Oh.
note that
Um,
very common problem you see with a lot of bad OC is they focus entirely on their combat prowess. There is nothing powers about situational powers. Like, there's nothing about his, like, something that he can do that doesn't help him in combat.
Here's a tip. So if you're focused on your character's ability to fight as well as their utilities for weapons, you're not doing a good job developing their character.
No,
Okay.
you're making them a one-sided combat monkey.
Yeah.
Or as
That's
they
it.
call it in terms, a munchkin.
Okay, first off, I have to say this. The sword of body and mind. It can destroy people's mind, or destroy people's memories. Okay, why? And it also summons wolves.
It's like,
How
what?
the why?
Why?
Okay, that is just straight up. Oh, that is just straight up actually a magic card. Like, literally.
Like what the?
What?
Wow. So not only is he fucking Ho-Ho cannon, he's fucking with magic cannon.
No! Think about this too. The next one, the next weapon he brings out is fucking around with Kingdom Hearts because he brings in the fucking Keyblade.
Yep.
But well, he didn't even change the name. It's literally
straight
just
up
the sword and
Keyblade.
body and mind.
I will be back.
His cards.
No
And
cards and
lets you-
cheat Keyblades 2.0, anyone?
Oh God.
That's actually a magic card.
No.
Yes.
No,
or
wait.
Sword of body and mind is actually a magic card.
Oh my
I know.
god! I thought that was something. Okay, never mind. That takes away
And it
the point I was
literally
gonna say.
does. And it literally
makes
does
it
what he
worse.
describes here. It allows when the equipped creature deals damage, it discards cards from whoever it hits hand, and it makes a 2/2 wolf token.
He has no originality at all. Not a single ounce. He has to actually rip off. He has to rip off other series stuff.
I'm
add
just
into
as-
his character.
I'm just astonished that he
What
didn't
the
change the
fuck?
name of it or
No.
change anything about it.
Oh,
It's just
and I
straight
also
up-
have a Keyblade. Knowing it's the Kingdom Key, because I am going to be so OP. Look at me, Dora Dinosaur, Kingdom Hearts, time travel.
That's not even the final weapon, guys.
I know. I just wanted to
Okay.
stop at that point because so far, just that one first part right there.
One last weapon.
What the fuck?
A powerful hammer named Insignia Excessium.
What?
That's in Harry Potter shit.
Saying yeah, excess.
Insignia Excessum.
That does sound like a Harry Potter's bullshit. But let's continue on.
Unfortunately, the exact strength of the hammer is currently unknown, though it is safe to say that a one-hit KO by getting hit with it. Also, due to his speed and its range, it's also effective at mid-range. In fact,
Okay.
in some ways, to the additional force generated by its speed, it's more dangerous at mid-range. It should be noted that in very close quarters, the hammer has its disadvantage, in which case Zero can rely on his dragon strength or other weapons to solve that.
Okay. One. I'm going to repeat what it just says. The strength is currently unknown, though it's safe to say that a one-hit KO by getting hit with it. No shit! If you get hit with it, you have to get hit for a one-hit KO. But that's saying, oh look, here comes someone give me an actual powerful character, not in Toho, like something, any game or
Master
Saitama?
Spark.
Goku?
what? Okay, Goku.
Go.
We all know Goku. Yeah, granted he with all the power levels bullshit, but at least he gave off some character building and all that for when he's not automatically OP as shit. Let's say with the newest version with the instant whatever it was. What's the new form called again? Ultra something?
Ultra Instinct.
Thank you, Ultra Instinct. Okay, let's say with that. Oh look, Goku's already using that. Hey, guess what? Boom! I love Goku's deck because I just tapped him lightly. One hit KO.
So
Another thing
basically,
about that,
the
Goku
power of
actually
this.
lost the form in a recent episode, so there's
Yeah,
weakness number 1 of the form right there.
Yeah, after a certain amount of time. Yeah, that's fun. That at least not saying he's invincible. But the thing is, one little touch, boom! Look, I win.
So basically, it says we don't know what the strength of the hammer is, but we do know it's a one-hit kill.
Yeah, but guess what? That means it's an instant fuck you. It's an instant fuck you. Oh, look, I'm about to do a fight. I don't care because I'm going to bring out the hammer and one little touch, you're dead no matter what. It's mid-range. It's good at mid-range, or I can do whatever. Well, the only thing you can do is long-range attacks, like bullets or something. But knowing him, he's going to have some sort of bullshit armor or something where, oh, bullets don't affect me or something. Like, this is the fuck?
This is like the
Even
kid-
my stuff that I make, okay? Granted, it's not been the best. People said some of it a lot of it was crap. I try to at least make sure my characters that I built aren't as OP as this. At least they have weaknesses. They're their own person. But no, this is just this. What the bloody fuck? This is so stupid. It's actually infuriating me.
JoJo duels.
I'm just oof.
Never.
It's like if you think that it's like the hammer is bad on its own, but remember he has a bullshit sword and a keyblade. It's something that some.
Okay, and yeah, the thing is, all of those so far are short range. But here, so he has a medium range hammer and a bunch of short range weapons. So what is he gonna do for long range? Let's see.
Arm.
Get the hammer.
Just let's continue on then. I don't care if it gets worse. It's already gone bad. It's gonna get worse. We all know this. We're all expecting it.
I do want to say
it's all
this.
downhill from here.
It's called character design, not weapon design. Design your character, not your weapons. Continue.
I was like,
That's what I did with mine.
It's like, yeah, like I mentioned before, if you're focusing on your character's weaponry rather than their actual character, you're doing something clearly wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
That's actually why I made the Jack Diehard versus the Toho weapons thing, because I saw so many freaking custom swords, and it's like, why do we have all these custom swords?
Let's note
Because that makes the character. No, it doesn't.
Let's note that this is a Toho character where I don't think that would even matter in opposed to the spell card rules.
I'm gonna say this on my
Unless
end.
they're a magic catalyst like a Toa weapon or something.
Yeah.
Like Yomu.
Like, what was her name?
Yeah, Yomu. There's actually a few people that use magic through items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yoma does, and also there are certain characters that are actually based from items too, but still.
Yeah.
Like for me, as how I make my characters, I don't focus on the weapon. Like, oh, I have this giant saber sword from Fate to CCC. I'm gonna use that and then care more about the sword than the character. No, what I do is I actually design the character first, and then and then think about how they're gonna act and if they're gonna get into a fight. If it's a fight series type stuff, like say, of course, Toho, like if they're more focused on magic or their fighting game variants. But I care more about how they look first, and then I build on the character, not the bloody weapon.
Yeah.
The weapon doesn't make the character. Is the weapon speaking? No. Unless it's Excalibur, but we all know what it's going to be starting to say.
Or Senketsu from Kill la Kill.
I think the way I've made characters thus far in RPs and tabletop games is I've conceptualized either an archetype, a personality, or say a trope, something that turns a trope on its head. It's like, hey, what if we had a villain that did this? Or, hey, what if we had a character that was undead but didn't care?
God, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm going to put my own character as an example. It's like she has a weapon, but it's the fact that she used it to, like, Damaku, like, her own energy is through those weapons. Like, little bullets, pew pew. Like, she has guns, but it's not that the guns is important. It's the fact that she could project her, like, energy to them. Not like she has to reload every time or has a maximum clip. I don't know how guns work.
Magazines.
Yeah.
Easy.
But can she... Does she have an unlimited amount of energy?
Well, I mean, it's Toho and it's Gunsoku, and she does get wear out easily. That's why she likes to use that's why she likes to use the Terrifying Presence perk rather than having to eliminate someone by the means of dueling.
I will fully admit my author avatar had swords because I've always really enjoyed the short dual-wielding swords kind of acrobatics person. Not the, holy crap, I'm dual-wielding huge katanas. No. I'm talking things, short swords, daggers, characters like that use acrobatics. Hell, even characters like Yoda in Star Wars.
Yeah. One of my characters, even though he is based in for Gensoki and all that, but he can't really... He does use weapons, but he can't do the whole bullet thing. He can't. He doesn't have... So it's a mix of... That's one thing he can't do. It's just... little bit balancing out of. That's what I thought, at least.
I just like playing with fire.
Unless someone else can bitch about that.
Okay. Alright.
Though the point is that the swords were kind of an afterthought of like how do I want this character to survive in Gensokyo?
Mhm.
You know what? I feel like doing this. Let's go Toa Tool on this ass. I'm not even kidding. The whole weapon channeling thing was probably from my Bionicle days.
It's like,
I
I've
don't
only
know
had-
at this point.
I have one character who uses a weapon, but I haven't even designed the thing. I focus more on the plot than the actual weapon itself.
Yeah, the whole weapon design thing happened like 2 years after the RP. I just said, they're short swords. That's it.
it's like,
Yeah, like
okay.
Trevor Terry Chase in my series, like he has a gap gun, but he never uses it unless the plot calls for it. And usually, like, whatever the problem is, the gap gun is not the thing that ends up solving the problem. It's character development.
Yeah.
It's
Like
That's
in
how
Trevor.
most of my RPs go.
Yep.
So what's going on so far?
Bad mouthing.
I'm losing.
We're analyzing a character who pretty much breaks every rule of how to design a character.
Yeah.
It is a immortal dragon god of chaos and the eclipse,
Oh
who
my god.
is
Oh my
I'm
god.
married to
still
Oku.
wondering. Yeah.
What because it's immortal?
I'm still wondering one thing. Why summon wolves? Why does a dragon god of chaos need to summon wolves? Like
Yeah.
that bothers
Because
me
you
so
get
much.
because he decided to rip off Magic the Gathering.
He
for
did.
some
He
reason.
just straight up
Really?
took a Magic of the Gathering card and said, "This is my weapon in this thing too."
Actually, everyone look up the card. Like,
What was it called again?
yeah.
Sword of Body and Mind.
Oh boy.
It should be sort of body and mind and wolves.
Wolves.
No, the wolves are the body.
As everyone searched for that, it's like, are you fucking kidding me? He has an ass load of weapons. First off, in Gensokyo fights, or someone with
Let's
Damaku.
see.
So having a bunch of weapons is not
Yeah,
only
let's see
A,
this one.
not helpful, but B, puts you in a disadvantage to someone who has Damaku that has a huge range. Weapons
Oh
can
my
make it
God.
good so far if you need one. Keep
There
at
it
one,
is.
maybe two,
I was wondering.
and have them in junction with Damaku or practical reasons. Also, a sword that destroys people's memories and summons wolves. I don't think Yomu summoned wolves with her sword.
Nope, but
No.
she did cut.
She cuts through their confusion. In
Uh-huh.
other words, it's like gardening for the soul. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
like-
wait. Think about this though. Wouldn't Yomo be actually really good against the Sword of Body and Mind then? She can literally
yeah.
think about it.
Given that she's half a ghost,
Mhm.
of course it's gonna. She's
Yeah, no, but she can literally just basically nullify or destroy the effect of it.
Yeah, you.
The only
you've
problem with
got-
Yomu is that Shikiaki's like, don't be using that sword too much because ghosts are going to Nirvana because of you, and they don't deserve it.
It can also summon.
Well,
wolves.
I guess I don't think anyone would complain if you're using it against this
Anywho.
SLB.
Yeah.
Shiki's probably like, yeah,
Anywho,
go
yeah.
ahead, my dude.
Yeah, just end them, please.
Go ahead, my dude.
Please.
Oh, I don't think OP mentioned like how could Shikiaki allow this? I don't think she would allow this.
How is Yukari allowing this?
Exactly. Like, how are they allowing this? This is bullshit.
Is this seriously? Did he come join in? Did he get into Gensokyo on everyone's off day when they're all at the shrine drinking and all that? Like, but seriously, the fuck?
It's like that episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob was all alone and everyone else in town were like out from the Bikini Bottom celebrating a day without SpongeBob Day, and that's how it goes. That's pretty much how when he went to Gensokyo apparently.
Oh, please don't give people ideas. No, $5 says someone actually makes a fanfic of that now.
Oh, also,
I'm patenting it, so I have to get money from it.
I know we've moved on from the Sword of Body and Mind thing, but it's also the one of like there was a cycle of these in the game, and Sword and Body of the Mind was the best one for competitive. So of course this guy would go with the card that was the best one.
Where's the picture of Fall Boy internally screaming?
Oh my
Even
God.
though it's the one, even though it probably is the one that makes the least sense that goes with his character.
So he's just getting the best weapons he can think of, and
Think of
boom!
God,
Oh, I'm awesome!
You think a god of chaos would have like a dragon sword Or
Or an actual dragon like the Daenerys.
Or no, not even a sword. What he could do is he could transform into a dragon form.
He actually
He has a
does.
human form, is a human form and a dragon form.
That's the
Or
thing.
started to
He
transform
does
to a
have a
dragon.
dragon form.
Oh, he
But I mean, in
does?
terms of weapons, the weapon's power would probably be more something related to chaos itself,
Yeah. Apparently.
and not memories and wolves and stuff like that.
That doesn't make sense.
The only time a character should have like powers that don't make sense is if they acquired it through some part of the story, like something they didn't natively have.
Yeah.
But acquired in either the course of the RP or tabletop or story as it goes. I don't know. But usually that takes like an effort.
Yeah, like funny enough, Impossible Spell card. Sage acquires several, like pretty much all the weapons of all the Toho characters by the end of the game.
Yeah, they weren't happy about that.
Yeah, now that, like, Seja builds herself up as a villain in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened to her anyway? I haven't played that one, so what happened to her?
Probably drink tea at the end and sing Kumbaya.
I don't think so with that happening. But no, seriously, whatever happened to her?
I don't even remember. I haven't. Yeah, I don't
Seja
remember.
Seja ended like the rest of the watch out Toho bosses.
Anyway, are you a Toho OC or a Kingdom Hearts OC? Because keyplates don't exist against Yoko. No weapon that wouldn't exist unless a good reason. Okay, that's one thing. What's okay in LOLK? Raisin with her bun gun. What was that? The bun gun. Like, I'm actually curious.
Remember? Have you not played the fighting games recently?
I haven't played the newest one, but I know in LOLK. And Sumireko has like a little pellet gun, and she was.
Yeah, no, she has Actually, have you played 15?
That's what I'm referring to with her bun gun.
Yeah, that's the bun gun. That's the bun gun.
Bun gun.
Like, what's the?
That's.
I forgot the reason behind that one. Unless it's just a bun gun.
I think it's because Zune actually wanted to stop using everyone like doing the whole finger bullet thing.
That is one. It's like sometimes.
So he actually thought of actually making a gun for it. So that's just me guessing though. So I don't know. It's not official or anything.
Interesting.
It's just a theory.
And finally,
a game theory. Thanks for watching.
My God, I wanted to punch my laptop.
Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe.
First off,
I
have a hammer that powerful. A one-hit KO hammer is so much Godmon. Are you trying anymore? Calms down.
Nope.
Not even Reinhardt has that.
No, Ryan has a great hammer, by the way, especially with hammer down. But no, this is just broken. Like this is. If that's actually him trying to be original, he's over trying. I don't think he actually wants his character to ever lose. Like, if I bet $5 says, whenever he wrote up a fight, he always would win easily, or gets a little bit hurt, but then he's instantly wins. I bet he's never lost a fight once.
That is true, actually. Where's my
really?
$5?
No, seriously? He's never lost a fight.
Never lost a fight, and if there's ever a defeat, it's for bullshit reasons to not ruin his pride.
Like, what do you mean bullshit reasons?
I don't know, something unoriginal, like a cliche villain have their plans foiled again. If it weren't for those meddling kids.
Wait, I thought he was the villain.
He is the villain.
Then how is the person he fights the villain? Wouldn't they technically be the good guys?
Exactly, that's how much bullshit it is.
I'm confused!
I think he sees himself as the hero.
He's not a hero. Oh, I am so confused.
This is so much confusion.
Confusion face.
I'm losing brain cells.
I need my new brain.
I should have actually decided to go drinking tonight instead of yesterday.
This makes me want to actually break years of sobriety to drink, but I'm not going to do that. I'm stronger than this, guys. Anyway.
Oh my God.
I would say tone down the power of that hammer. A thing that happens often in Toho is a battle that can go anywhere, such as a battle between Soika, an Oni with manipulation of density, and Chiyono, a fairy with the power of ice. Could go either way. So, same with any other Toho character, OC or not, first stage or X stage. It could either way. Don't give your OC an automatic win. It screams Mary Sue dash Gary Steele. And in my own opinion, I think it's more Gary Steele because last time I checked, most Mary Sues are just 14-year-old girls that don't know any better writing, and they can be well forgiven. Like I could.
No, Mary Stu is also Rey from the new Star Wars movie.
No, I disprove that.
No, leave me.
Okay, no, she only had. How long of training did she have though? And the timing from the previous movie to now, to the other new movie, it was only like a couple of let's say a few hours. It wasn't.
I'm back.
The one she was literally with Luke for less than a day and didn't finish her training, and it wasn't really training like what Luke had to go through for weeks on Dagobah. And then then with all what happened afterwards, like look, she's able to lift up all those boulders.
We've gone on a tangent.
Yeah,
boy howdy, this is something we don't need to get into right now.
Sorry. But yeah.
I was like spaced out. I'm like, okay, just
sorry.
I'm like,
it's all good.
How long did Leia? Anyway, second part, mid-range attacks and such, because Zero has a strong sense of honor. He does not use guns, so mid-range could be a problem. For being a blue. Oh, here we go with the Magic the Gathering. Being a blue planeswalker, you can easily mess with people's minds. This includes mind control as well as mind reading to know his opponent's ability in advance and creating illusions to prevent attacking the real Zero.
The fuck is this?
Gross.
Okay, how many abilities does he have?
Okay, what thing is this?
More than this. We're not even halfway done.
And hey, guess what? This is more stuff stolen from Magic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's all I was asking.
No, literally, he didn't even change anything. It's a blue planeswalker is literally just straight from Magic.
What the fuck is a blue planeswalker?
Well,
okay. Bun would probably know better than I would, but I'm gonna give this a shot. The color is representative of the magic that is used, that the creature uses. Blue is water. Water is about healing, manipulation, and trickery. Am I right so far?
Well, okay. In Magic the Gathering, the color blue is basically most representative of focusing on knowledge and trickery, and water. and water and manipulation and also air and stuff. But basically, all of these abilities he's talking about here are the abilities of one specific, very important planeswalker character in Magic lore, Jace Beleren, who is, I'll complain about him somewhere else, but like this is basically just straight up that character's power set, just in addition to all the other things this guy can already do.
I don't think he has the irony of it. Honestly. I do not think the character would get the irony of those two things.
Also, being able to read people's minds. Satori, thank you.
Well, actually, I don't think Satori's power is to read minds. I believe it's stated as the ability to read someone's heart, which is a completely different thing.
That was hard.
But and it's treated as effectively the same thing.
Yeah. But remember, Satori was able to use other people's spell cards, but this is
bullshit.
Like, I'm just gonna take this character from Magic, and I'm just gonna have all of his powers too.
Unoriginal.
You want to know
this is not bullshit. This is way higher than bullshit. It's just unoriginal.
It gets even better because, as Wave said, this is an important character in Magic.
Like at the moment, Jace Beleren is probably the closest thing that Magic's story has to a main character.
Exactly.
which is kind of dumb, but
Oh my god.
I forgot.
and even back when, well, Jace wasn't as important back when this character profile must have been written, but still,
God.
he was still important, and also once again, one of the cards that depicts him was considered one of the most powerful cards in the game at the time.
God. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this beforehand, but here's the thing: if you're gonna create a character, you shouldn't blatantly rip off something from another series. That's just straight up lazy.
Steal shamelessly, but change it enough so that nobody notices.
It's like at least Christine Weston Chandler had the balls to actually be like, okay, well, he's not really Pikachu or he's not really Sonic, so I'm gonna make him Sonic.
You're right. It's an unholy abomination. That's what it is.
Whatever you say, Father.
The comic that just shall not be named.
Pretty much.
I'll say this: one of my OCs was actually somewhat based off of Yuki Terumi from Blaze Blue, but I changed quite a bit of it. I made him into his own character. Still, he's not gonna be known as the Yuki Terumi clone or any way, shape, or form.
Inspired by and ripping off are two separate things.
Thank you.
This inspired is different because at least you're taking one trait and not like trying to work around your character. Copying is like straight up being lazy and cares death. It's like I remember my character is like, okay, sure, she has some inspiration from Jotaro before JoJo was big. Like she has some of that, especially with the blue hat and stuff.
JoJo's always been big.
It's been big. It's just been super big when like the anime came out. It's just like I remember.
It only got big in the West recently,
Yeah,
but it was
but in
super
Japan,
big
it
before
was
that in Japan.
But yeah.
And did you see how big JoJo was when he was allegedly supposed to be 12? He's been big the whole time.
Yeah, and as a baby.
Oh my god.
Yada yada. But yeah, it's like the difference was taking inspiration from your fan character is completely fine. It's just that the way you put it is like, let's say you like this character. I'm gonna be like, okay, let's say that you like how big, Jonathan Joestar is. He's big, but he has a kind heart.
I'm okay.
You take that, like, you take his personality into your character, which is fine, because with that, you'll have more, like, room to, like, build off of that trait that Jonathan Joestar had. Like, sure, they're, like, good-minded, but they're not necessarily big, buff, and strong. Maybe they're strong in other aspects, like, through their words. Not because he's a carbon copy of the big JoJo man. Big JoJo man, what am I saying? But yeah, somewhat, okay. I'm not going into the whole Planeswalker thing because that is someone else's series. But I am going into the mind abilities and as the Bun talks, explain how Planeswalker works or Magic Gathering. First.
Oh, you want me to, or?
Oh, you already explained it. Okay.
Yeah, you already explained it.
First off.
Yep.
You explained it well enough that we understand that this is bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah, I think she's just reading off some of her notes. That's why.
No, she's not,
Well, she's just
not
straight up reading
off her notes. She's reading from the.
No, after because she said the bun, but
Yeah, it's
but
like
yeah.
I'm paraphrasing this. I'm not plagiarizing.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, just a quick question though. Is anyone else on Mickey's end? Is he coming on low for you guys, or is that just me?
She is a bit quiet.
Yeah, because I have her personally at 150%, and she's still coming in low.
I hope I hope it's loud enough.
That's better.
That's better.
Okay, maybe that's.
Oh yeah, you're definitely low on the stream.
Oh damn.
No, they can
Everyone
still
else is
hear you.
loud.
You were just quite low.
I was like, wow, everyone else is probably loud because I can hear you fine. But I put in auto detection. Maybe that's why. Okay. First off, stop making your OC unbeatable in battle. There is so much God mod with the mind reading, things to know, your opponent's ability / next move. Now I'll confess.
Grammar.
The grammar is strong in this. Now I'll confess, I have a Toho OC like that. A Satori who can tell the future, thus making her be able to tell people's next move. However, with her ability, she can tell the future from that moment, so an opponent can easily switch up an attack and catch her off guard. But I don't think Zero's creator is doing that at all.
She got that. The person got that wrong.
Nah, that's wrong.
See the future? See the future?
The Grimmers. I can't even the Grimmer.
The grammars.
Grimmer.
Remember, it's the internet. Most people don't care about grammar.
The lack of grammar is strong with this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think the person who wrote this is just so frustrated that they forgot grammar for a while.
No, I think it's a certain
like
someone.
They've lost their brain cells, so their comprehension of grammar is lost. Like how I'm losing my ability to speak anymore.
Well, this whole thing is killing our brain cells. What did you expect?
Hey, I need to get a new brain.
My brain.
Second.
Oh well, you can have this one. You can have this one that I just picked up off of some guy named Z. I don't think it was ever used.
I don't want.
There's still cobwebs on it though.
It's so tiny. Second thing is the mind / messing with people's minds. Does it have a limit? No, it doesn't.
Of course not.
Will it affect someone with a strong mind?
Of course it
Yes.
will.
We need
I mean,
more
not if he writes
details,
it that way.
creator. The illusion thing is a bit annoying to me, but I'll let it slide because of Pokemon.
Well, and also because Raisin does the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Bun illusion.
But he has so many powers. It's just why?
It's like, remember, we got backup.
Well,
Because
he just straight up was like, "Oh, Jace can do all this stuff. I can too." Like that is literally what all of those things are.
Yeah, I was like,
but the series you're in, everyone has like one set thing. It's like, so you're just saying you're gonna outbeat everyone? Knowing you can just straight up beat Reimu, and you're not supposed to.
Well, they can, but then Reimu gets back up and is like, "No, we're fighting again." And then she gets beat down, and then she's like, "No, we're fighting again." And then she gets beat down, and we're like, "No, we're fighting again," until eventually they give up. That's canon. Reimu cheats.
Yeah, she has to because she keeps order.
She basically has to wear them out.
He has a strong sense of honor, so he does not use guns. Oh, but he'll use a fucking one-hit KO hammer.
Yeah.
And mind control. Might I remember the mind?
Mind control. I don't think your mind over. There's no such thing as honor with this guy.
Once again, I say, dare you enter my magical realm?
I need to know what that you mean by that.
It's a comment.
Yeah.
To explain the reference, a magical realm is when a GM takes the players into one of his fetishes.
That's literally his series.
I'm out.
I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
guys. That's literally how
Rip.
it is. Hypnotism, that's a fetish. And
Oh, yeah.
It's very problem.
There was a mommy fetish in there too. So
I'm trying not to talk like a typical
Harem.
white SJW, but it's like hypnotism. That's kind of like non-consensual, and that's kind of disgusting. That's very disgusting. I'm just gonna say that. So that's.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Oh, that's nasty.
That has incel written all over. Third part, long-range attacks and such. Zero, for those who don't know, is a dragon god. Not that we've been reminded of that throughout this whole article.
Okay, I was right. You can't beat him even in long range. Fuck you!
No, you literally cannot beat him. He has covered every option.
No.
And it's even in the thing, it's stated that he has like one weakness, which is superficial at best.
And I will cover that.
Here we go.
We'll cover that later.
Yeah.
I know what's
So
going
the
on.
only way to beat him.
No,
is
we're covering it later.
No, that's the next part. Chill. We're gonna get there.
Okay.
You're not the host.
The
of
big
this.
reveal ain't yet, boy.
Okay.
Oh boy, can't wait.
Third part, Zero for those is like as such as he can unleash devastating attacks, long range attacks. He can quit. I did not mess up. That's how it is typed. He could quickly fly into space and unleash a devastating dragon blast that can level mountains. I don't even think Doomfist's meteor strike can do that.
No, I know what he's basing off that. It was. Oh.
I'm looking at my notes.
I probably shouldn't say it.
He can quickly fly into. Okay, I already read that. I really don't know what to say about this. It seems overpowered, but there are attacks into Hook that can blow up mountains. Sparks, Last Judgment, Scarlet, Weather, Rapture, etc. But I mean, on top of all of those... No. Bye.
I really question who wrote this. Who wrote this article?
I question who wrote the article. I more question who made
the character.
Because it's just like, okay, you have all these abilities, you have all these powers. Why? What's the point of having everything? What's the point of a story if there's no conflict?
Power fantasy.
Giant circle jerk?
Power trip.
Whew, okay. Now that that's over, there's more parts of this. I really don't know.
And Dr. Doom lost!
Fourth part, special attacks and such.
Wait, his long range is in the special attack.
Nope.
That could blow up mountains. That should be considered a special attack. Also, Roy, I sent you the thing.
Yeah, no, I saw.
Yeah, you know, I can't, you know.
Okay, fourth part.
Shrug.
Zero's human form is only a disguise. Pretends to be Shock Jiff. I don't have it, but just imagine that. If he's using it, chances are he's toying with his opponent for his form.
Honor.
Powerful.
Quote unquote.
Honor.
Oh my god. I'm about to cry. I'm about to actually cry because this is so fucking... Oh my
Can someone
god.
buy me rounds of Tide Pods? Because I'm buying the whole bar, guys.
I'll actually have one. Oh my god.
I'll have a Tide Pod.
This is just bullshit. This is actually about to make me burst into tears. What the fuck is this?
All that bullshit power.
Called overpowered.
This is only
but
his
beyond
human
roadie
form.
levels.
This is
overcompensation.
This isn't his final form yet, boys and girls and non-binary people.
My final form.
Zero, in his true form, is a huge dick. His powers are in.
So he's from Persona. Okay. So that will add Persona into his bullshittery.
His powers are increased tenfold and resistant
Yep.
to practically all attacks. The last time he
it does.
used it, he took out entire armies in seconds. Even if a challenger manages to fight Zero in an equal, they will stand no chance against his true form.
I'm done. I'm done.
they won't.
I am done. I'm fucking done. I'm getting up from my seat. I'm done.
You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna have the discussion, open discussion, and I'll be back.
Oh god.
She needs a drink. She needs some bleach.
Actually,
I
I'm gonna
do
get a
believe I
drink
know
too.
one
Be
way
right
to
back.
finish him off. But it comes from D&D. The Wish series.
Ray
itself.
upside down.
Yep. True Wish. That would do it.
Or
True
Miracle.
Wish would absolutely do it because there's nothing left.
This guy versus Pun Pun. Magic versus me. Like, literally, who would win?
What's this now?
Pun Pun is the name that is given to a set of exploits in Dungeons & Dragons 3rd edition that allows a very low-level character to, if the DM goes along with a very specific script, have effectively infinite stats.
Okay, I'm back. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Seriously!
You missed out on me having actually figured out a way to take him out.
How?
He's a pretty high power spellcaster. Miracle, which call upon the powers of the gods themselves.
Ramu, we need your help!
fantasy
Fall.
heaven.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Yep.
On standby over there.
Wouldn't it be Rocks Fall 0 dies?
Wait, are we on
That
standby
too.
right now?
Everybody.
Okay. Now that that internal screaming fight is over, I'm going to scream. This chapter makes Zero more OP than anything in the entire review. He can destroy armies in seconds. Not just 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but a whole bunch. Not only is he saying that no attacks can hurt him, Damaku included, which is cancel the point of the Toho OG. In this form, and no one can stand a chance against him. No, it's like, how about Reimu? Nope. How about Yukari? Nope. What about the Wasabi sisters? Nope.
Which Wasabi sisters? No. No, I gotta say that.
Hey, I was the one who came up with that joke.
No, the thing is, the one with all the Dub sisters, even their weapons are bullshit broken. And knowing them, looking at this, they'll be like, what the fuck is this? No, we thought we were broken.
I mean, well, also, we're never actually shown whether or not Toyohime is actually just bluffing about the fan. And then Yorihime is just, most of her power is being Reimu, but actually practicing, and she doesn't actually use her sword except for, a material component.
No focus. No sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're supposed to be their weapons are supposed to be the most broken.
Yeah, but it's like they're also, good characters, despite what some people.
Yet they'll never be in a game.
Never.
Neither will Tokiko.
Feels bad, man.
And watch Tokiko's an extra boss.
Actually, she is. If you look at someone's game, fan game that's coming up soon.
Reminder.
Shameless plug-in. I need to get paid.
Where was I? Oh yeah. Do you know what you are saying? You are saying that Yuka is weaker. You are saying that Soika is weaker. You are saying that frickin' Yukari is weaker. You are saying that the Waka Flocka Flame Sisters is weaker.
The Waka Flocka Flame.
You are saying that some of the strongest characters are weaker than your OC. Screw everything.
Screw everything!
And there's supposed to be an image down there, but even that image gave up.
Yeah.
Yes!
The image gave up on just how bullshit this is. Let me tell you why that's bullshit.
This is all bullshit.
Okay, Sparky.
Sparky?
Nora Neko Sparky.
I mean, that is a fitting nickname for Misako.
No,
but...
I know. That's actually what he says in the English dub.
Actually, no, he calls her Zapper.
What is with me and completing the lines of, stop?
No, he calls her Bug Zapper, too. But that's not just the only one. Yeah, but Sparky, yeah.
For those of you who are wondering, I just posted probably one of the most powerful spells in
Magic the Gathering.
By the
D&D.
way, thank you for coming along, 12 watchers. I hope you're enjoying us rip and tear a new one from this someone's god-awful OC.
Be sure to look at my red bubble. I really need the money.
She's
Please
good.
click on the red bubble. We need more than 55 subscribers.
Buy a Ocean Man hoodie. Alright, anyway, 5th part. We're not done yet, boys.
Oh no.
Straight.
We got more beer to go.
Zero
I
being
wish
a
I-
god.
Oh dear God.
Being a god has an immense levels of power. His body is very resistant to most attacks. It's available to block blades and survive most attacks. Unharmed and can survive heat from volcanoes. He is also strong physically and is immortal. What?
Okay, is he
The
resistant
what
or
gif
immune?
is.
Pick one. And if he's immune, you better have some sort of divine bullshit going on here. Because you know what gods run off of? Faith. So take away all of that and he's a useless son of a bitch.
No,
I think
no.
that his ego is so big that he's pretending that he's supplying all the faith he actually needs, even though he hasn't.
Basically.
Totally. It's so totally that.
No, the image is absolutely correct. Just what? I'm actually about to break down until pure insanity laughter because this is so bullshit. And the reason why, the thing is, I'm gonna say this: gods are dead. You know why all of them are dead? Because we have this character right here. It's proof that the gods are dead. They just don't give a rat's ass because they're allowing this bullshit.
No.
I am done.
No.
This...
No. I do
Damn.
not care.
Mickey, speak up a bit more.
No. I do not care if he is a god. He should not be able to survive attacks unharmed, nor have a super resistant body to attacks. I don't even say Kratos. I don't even say Kratos is that untouchable.
No, he's gone hurt a lot of times. Wasn't he impaled by Zeus?
Yeah, I'm like, didn't he
multiple times?
He was impaled by everyone.
Yeah, so yes, he's gone
He almost gets impaled as many times as Dante.
So guess what? He actually gets hurt and all that. He's not immortal or anything. He can die still. Like hell, God of War, you kill gods.
It's like, sure, I'm tooting my own horn again. It's like my character is immortal, asterisk. Not really immortal. It's just that she has a slow aging process, but still gets damaged well. She has Wolverine syndrome.
That's actually fair. And if you think about how it is, if you actually looked into the signs of it, and with the Wolverine movie, how he got old and his powers decayed over time, that's because of how many the cells you're splitting all the time.
Yeah.
So it actually makes sense if they'll later on down the road too. If you actually allow that.
I'm like, yeah. It's like, yeah, she has Wolverine syndrome. She's not really immortal. She just has a very slow age processing when she inherited, like, basically Shinigami powers. Okay. Thank God. We're in the last part.
Oh no! Oh no!
I want you all to contain yourselves until after I'm done reading the rest of
Read the weaknesses.
No promises.
Goss is Todd.
Last part, weaknesses. Zero has no physical or magical weaknesses.
You're hard to tackle. No weaknesses.
However, he suffers a fear of fairies, especially Star Sapphire. This is due to if he was to die, he would transform into an energy-conserving state. He is as weak as one and is often taken by some. Stop.
You know, if he was...
Well, actually, this could you could retool Zero into an interesting horror villain. Like, you gotta have the fairies everywhere to make sure Zero never comes back.
Wait, no, stop. How is he gonna be able to die, though? And why is he afraid of fairies? Especially Star. Granted, she's a little bit psychotic, but no, why? Why? There's nothing saying about this. Like, did he bring him? There was nothing in the lore about, or his, well, I put lore in quotations, but there was nothing about it saying why he was afraid of fairies. He doesn't say how he could be killed. He's basically he says multiple times he's immortal and he can't be hurt or anything. So how is he going to die? Impossible. Oh, and what, a fairy is going to do something to him? How? He has no physical weakness. He has no magical weakness. Just apparently putting a fairy in front of him. Hey, Clownface, get over here! Just stand in front of him for a second and then he'll apparently die or something?
So what
if I may interject, Unknown, there is, as I mentioned, Miracle and True Wish are capable of destroying even somebody who's supposedly a god.
Yeah, okay. I appreciate what you're trying to do there, Dan, but in the end, it still goes to the fact that Miracle and True Wish are the fuck you buttons. They are the I need something done and I need it done now, no matter what the universe has to say about it. If you have gotten to the point where the only solution is a miracle or a wish, you have fucked up severely. You have fucked up to the point where you literally need to hit the retcon button.
And remember, Zunori did that, well, I believe did that with a PC-98. We have no clue, really. If he actually did or not. We had Yuka back, but I don't know.
Actually, I think it's because, like, in the original, like, PC-98 company, he didn't own, like, all of it. That's the thing.
Really?
I think I don't remember. You can. I think I don't know. Talk to Diz about it. Like I remember.
Yeah,
he
well,
had
he
like
loves
some
money.
rights to characters, just not all of them.
But no, back to you, Dan. This is Gensokyo. This is Toho.
Okay,
You can't do that in it. And the only weakness is a fairy. A fairy who what? Just put a fairy in front of him. It's like just hold it and just start squeaking it, and then he'll magically explode.
I know the
Hey,
picture.
here's
No,
a
here's me
fairy.
holding. Here's me holding
Strongest
clown piece.
fairy.
Boom! Oh look, he exploded. Or he's in a weakened state. He's not even dead. He's in a weakened state, conserving energy. That's not even death. That
Put him in
is
a cage
just.
full. Put him in a cage full of fairies, then.
No.
No, the thing is, I have more respect for the fairies because no, they don't my.
Have turtle eat it.
Okay.
Fuck is this bullshit?
But here's the thing. Okay, so Yukari can't beat him. Reimu can't beat him. Suika can't beat him. Any other Oni can't beat him. The Washington Monument Sisters can't beat him. But a fairy.
Okay, and this is before Junko came out, by the way. So I want to say this: keep him away from Junko. We all know about her ability, right?
Yeah.
I actually don't know what.
Yeah.
Her ability, for those not in the know, is she can render something into its purest state. Which that's why she was teaming up with Clown Piece in the Lunar Invasion, because she could reduce Clown Piece into the purest state of being a fairy, which is a force of life and death.
And also, it works with God, so it takes them. If I remember correctly, and I've seen this on the wiki, back to a point where even to a form when there was a god without a name, because when they became a name, they got a name, they got weaker.
Yeah.
So
But
if you
a
put
god
him next,
without a
if
name-
he gets purified by fucking Junko, we are. And with this bullshit, we're fucked.
The thing there is, a god without a name doesn't have a consciousness or a will. A god without a name is an elemental being. It is a force of nature. It is no longer a god so much as it is a force.
Yeah, but still, in this point, since he's chaos, we're fucked. We're fucked.
It's like,
We're absolutely
we're
fucked. No matter what, we're fucked. He's
Actually,
just him living, just him breathing. Knowing him, he's so OP. Even a single, if we were like, say, most of us are in, like, if you see in Japan or China right now, since we're on the other side of the world, we're all in Americans and all that, or North America. Yeah, if he takes a single breath and he's in China, we're all dead no matter what. That's how OP he is. Oh, I need to take a nice little breath. Okay, we're all dead.
I think
that's how OP he is.
That sounds more enjoyable.
Or hell, even if he was on Pluto. Oh, time to have a breath of fresh air. Oh, look, I just blew up Earth.
I was gonna say, yeah, character guideline. When you create your creator's weakness, don't just go with physical weaknesses. Go with like character weaknesses. Like maybe they're too cocky or too stubborn or too optimistic. Those are valid weaknesses.
Character flaws that make them that.
I mean, like actually,
that hold them accountable for their mistakes.
He has one. He's too overconfident about himself.
Well, actually, I think the best written part about this character is the fear of fairies. That's it.
That's
the problem there is the fact that
like the reasoning for it is dumb, but the actual character trait itself is
there was no reason
the
for
only
it.
good part.
Actually, you could make a funny little short about that. Actually, there is possible to make Zero into an interesting villain, and here's how. You make a short where, like, all the fairies and, like, Reimu's like, man, all these fairies are annoying. Let's get rid of all the fairies in Gensokyo and see what happens. Then all the fairies are gotten rid of. Like, hey, everything's good now. Then suddenly Zero shows up. He's going to try to take over Gensokyo. And then he rolls the place with an iron fist. And Reimu's like, oh, man, what are we going to do? Goes into Akio. Akio, what are we going to do? Do you have any archives on the Zero person? Well, it turns out he's definitely afraid of fairies. Oh, we have to get all the fairies back now.
Take like a
all
little
the fairies come back and Zero whines like a little girl, like, "Oh my god, it's fairies!"
I just
Yes.
imagine that ending with Zero running around in a circle, jumping into a wall, and then falling over.
Yes.
No, it's like one of those memes. Who would win? Overlord, immortal dragon god, one little fairy girl.
No, just
My favorite is still
One
that.
flappy,
Get Diz.
one
No.
flappy girl.
No,
Yeah.
Spaz. All you need to do is get Clown Piece. She lives underneath Reimu's shrine. She refuses to leave from there because Clown Piece, and just she wouldn't leave with the rest of the fairies. Clown Piece would stay underneath the shrine. Just get her out from underneath the crawl space, throw him at freaking Zero there, and he'll fucking shit bricks out of his pants. Go, Clown Piece, go! It's safe getting Sokyo, even though you freaking have done so much shit with Loki and all that, but still safe getting Sokyo!
Alright, so I
Clown
covered...
Piece, you're on help!
I covered weak character flaws. How about physical flaws? Like, okay, maybe this character isn't good with long-range items, and so just that's okay. Like, your character has limitations with combat, even though you're not supposed to heavily focus on that. But it's like...
Especially in a Toho series.
Especially in a Toho series. It's like, I mean, if you think about it, like, every Toho character that's playable in the Damaku games, they have, like, their weaknesses with, like, how you play them. Like, I like to play Reimu with homing missiles, but it makes her ability a bit weaker than most, and her spell card isn't as powerful.
A bit. No, it's more like hilariously weaker.
I have to look something up right now on his thing.
Alright.
I think he got rid of the rabbits.
Bye-bye, Bun Bun.
No, his so far from I see from his Lunarian army uniform. One sec, I have to make sure. Come on, show me some more. Some more of this crap. Oh god, he put Renko and Maribel in his fucking fetish suit.
Okay, let's focus on what we have here.
Yeah.
It's like, it just proves that there's not a lot of improvement since those years ago. But yeah, I covered those traits up, like, making a character. Like, it's always important to make your character a weakling. Make him a weakling.
Yep. That's why my actual main character actually is.
A character like that is, above all, boring. There's no conflict that he can't just immediately solve. There's no opponent that he can't just immediately beat. And that means there's absolutely nothing that can challenge him. And that is the worst thing a story writer can do, is make it so there's nothing that can challenge a character. Because the moment they become nothing can challenge them, they become the biggest sin that a character can become.
I still like the idea of, like, suddenly a fairy shows up and...
Shit's bricks.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
That is. I would love to see that. I'll pay to see that.
So fairies are powerful. I guess I count, if you know
That's
what I mean.
parody, though.
And even Saitama's not this invincible.
Yeah.
I mean, Saitama has his weaknesses. It's just that he doesn't like to try hard.
He's lazy.
Well, it's not even that he doesn't like to try hard. He's gotten so bored of being able to defeat everything in one punch that he just doesn't bother anymore.
And that's why he's so interesting.
Which, again, One Punch Man is a very good example of what I was talking about.
Yes, I thought I actually got depressed from being
so bored. They're so bored that there's nothing left for them. There's no reason for them to fight. They're completely and utterly just bored. And that's what's going to happen to your readers, which is the worst thing to happen.
They aren't gonna read your story if they're bored.
Nope.
Like, either they're gonna get bored or they're as stupid as you are.
Or, in our case, get mad as hell.
Or disgusted.
Or yes.
Or annoyed.
Why not both? Or all three?
Porque los dos.
Are all the above, and let's get. I can get my chainsaw out.
2,
Porque
3,
no los, que no los tres.
Cuatro. Wait, cinco. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Having fun, Mickey.
It's
Why
just-
are we counting up? And
We're just straight up elementary school level Spanish up in here.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Stop okay, every canon character, every OC has a weakness in some sort of field. I disapprove of this greatly. Final thoughts. I'm so bad.
I don't even think you tried at all.
I'm so clever almost done. Honestly, OCs like this make me very upset of the Waffles Toho community. They make the most illogical and god-modded OCs and then bends Toho into their will. I'm not saying all Waffles Toho fans are bad. Just the minority, guys. Let me clarify. As I have friends in that part of the Toho community who make legit balanced OCs. That's the thing. Like, it takes a lot to fuck up with Toho when we know that in canon, characters are there are already OP as hell. But somehow they're still balanced. So, yeah. It's like, you don't fuck up royally.
Well, and they're balanced because of the Danmaku system. That's literally the whole reason why things even work. Is because the Danmaku system is basically meant to level the playing field, literally.
Yeah, but it's like... Yeah, it's like, we don't need these weapons. With the Danmaku laws that are in place, we don't need to worry about them. But,
Like, the weapons make Danmaku. That's really the only point of them.
It's kind of funny. It's actually hilarious. It's like, I never see this dude make a Danmaku spell card to his shitty character of the 8 years. Maybe more than 8 years being here. And that's 8, 9, almost, it's about to be 9 years. Holy shit, I'm old.
Man, you're old.
I'm like, I've been doing this.
the grade should have been changed to this.
Like, I've been doing this more than all of you guys here.
We know.
You're old! We get it, Mickey!
Yes, I am old.
60 years of skinny.
And now for the OC's grade.
Wow, we'd have no faith.
I wonder how I wonder how the stream chat is. I don't know. I haven't been looking at it.
It's most of us in here still talking.
Okay.
Like literally, I haven't seen anyone who's not in the group.
I've been double memeing.
Oh my god.
I don't even think you tried at all. This OC needs lots of work. Try studying up on some Toho canon and decrease their power levels down. Give them less weapons and more Danmaku. Thank you for submitting. Mod Ace. Oh god.
And in the end, they didn't do that at all.
No, all he did was bitch.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stop.
I imagine if he gets wind of this, he will try and DMCA your video.
Care.
He actually can. This has no copyrighted works of his or anyone else.
Won't stop him from trying.
Yeah, this is only our opinion.
That's if he's, competent enough.
But
that's getting to the point of insulting the author, so I'm going to stop there.
Bitch, you're fucking stupid.
I hope it's showing off the sound wave image or the title screen.
I love how a bit of it's cut off, though, Mickey.
The what?
The image, title image, some of it's cut off.
Oof.
Yeah,
on the right side.
You need to zoom out a little bit.
Oh wow.
To recenter or zoom out or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know why. Because I put in I had my thing like that. Okay.
Derp.
It's like, I mean, again, this is a old article from an old blog a few years ago, so if I do get in trouble, I really don't care. Who's gonna care? Like, I had only 12 watchers in this. It's not like it's gonna be a big deal. It's not like Keemstar is gonna DM me on Twitter. If that happens, I would be honored. I would be honored.
Honorable! Honorable like Keemstar! Fighting style!
It's like, yo,
Wait, that's
Keem,
not
I'm
honorable at all.
fan.
Fuck!
It's like, yo, Keemstar, I'm a big fan of yours. Except when you
Mind control.
No, the best way to counter mind control is to put aluminum foil on your head, guys. It always works with me. You can't read my mind.
What do they think the tin's gonna do? It's just gonna amplify whatever signals they're worried about.
Yes.
In the words of Gordon Freeman.
Oh man, I hope Jordan doesn't read my inner browser history.
What the fuck?
That this writer is fucking stupid.
That you should not have tried at all.
You didn't even try it all, but in a actual guiding advice, do try creating a fan character. Like, if you're gonna make a Toho fan character, it's basically flesh out the same means of like making the regular character. But it's important to remember about the spell card rule, which has, I mean, you can research it. It's pretty much bare bone, like how the spell card.
Whoa, what about the spell card laws?
The what now?
The what now?
We need to do more
Shameless plug-in
this
for
more.
Siege.
That's like your biggest focus. And you need to remember, like, the people in Gunsyoku, like, how the order is formed. Like, you got your yokai, you got your humans, you got your fairies. You got your dead people in this other corner. You got
your stinking Lunarians.
You got the Bun-Buns and the Moon. I like how I'm, like, pointing to the sky. The Bun-Buns and the Moon. And you got Sumireko with a gun in the outside world.
And then in the future, you have Renko and Maribel.
They're from the future?
Yeah, they're from, I think it was like, I don't remember exactly what, but somebody did the math on like when they're supposed to be about, and it was like 2040 or something.
Like they're far enough in the future that I think it's implied that Sumireko is supposed to be Renko's grandmother, or that number of generations.
No shit.
Yeah.
Really? Well, actually, it tells some of my story then.
Assuming they are related.
That last name's not particularly common, I'm pretty sure. I might be completely wrong about that.
But I'm going to say this. This is an actual real-life event that happened here in Canada. Someone with the... And this is going to get a little strange, but... Yeah, someone recently got murdered, but the victim and the murderer both had the last name, but they weren't related. So... that could be...
It's entirely dependent on the last name. There are... Like, I can tell you, I share my last name with a lot of people. It just depends on said person's... It depends on said person, and it also depends on how uncommon or common said last name is.
Like, if it's Smith, then, yeah, it's a common last name.
Yeah.
Very.
But, yeah, when it comes to...
If it's, like, Glorbish Megan, then you're probably the only Glorbish Megan on the planet.
Or, like...
I don't know.
And probably should be.
Aside from your family.
Yeah. But we're going out of topic. But, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, when it comes to creating a Toho character, you gotta be aware of, like, the character marks. You can't go in, like, thinking that, oh, I can make myself a character in this series like that. It doesn't work like that. I think that can be true with, like, any series. Like, hell, even Gemzonas and Steven Universe. There's, like, some shit you gotta remember, even despite how bullshit the series has become.
You gotta remember some ground rules and how the universe's metaphysics work.
Yeah, like the real life rocks and how they would look, especially the color, and if they were from Earth, or like all that stuff. Even with My Hero Academia, like if you have a hero character from that series, it's like you gotta remember like the lore of how quirks work, and if there's a type of like a specific quirk they have. I think that's just how it is in any given series. You have to actually study. And while you could take inspiration from other series, you just can't straight up copy them. Like, oh, here we got a Planeswalker in Toho with a Keyblade. That just
Keyblade, like, a sword I had.
Like, and having a Planeswalker isn't like, okay, whatever. That's kind of still stealing from something. But then you take that and then you just like give him straight up the powers of one of the most important characters in the series right now, just completely unchanged, in addition to everything else he can do.
And that sword.
Like, He didn't even pick an interesting sword. Like he picked the one that was good in the card game. He could have gone with he could have gone with one that had more interesting lore behind it, but wasn't as good in the card game. But no, he went with the one that was good in the card game because it was the one that was good in the card game.
It's like, holy shit, I've seen bad Saints Row characters that are actually more balanced than this. And I've seen a character who was like a half angel, half demon in a world where humans are like the only thing. And that's still more balanced than that. I'm looking at my notes if I missed anything. Okay. Oh, yeah. Here it is. I have like one note that says this word, and I think I'll go ahead and cover it. Maybe it's possible that all this can be forgiven if this was made by a 12-year-old. No. This was made by someone who was like almost 30 at the time. A man.
What?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
No, what?
Okay, at this point, I would say let's stop because we're going past insulting the character into insulting the author.
Yeah,
and
I would agree.
What the person is or has done is irrelevant to how good or bad the character is. There are a lot of people who are just generally terrible people who have great character. There are genuinely great people who have terrible character. I can give an example of the first one. George R.R. Martin. Terrible, terrible person. Pretty fun character.
Yeah.
When they're alive.
When they're alive. Yeah.
Oh, even the ones that die. Even the ones that die get really cool.
Ned.
That's why it's so sad when they die.
I mean, even then,
the
they're
point.
like minor characters.
Not Caitlin Stark.
Or Ned.
Nope.
Or
Go for it.
No.
Again, that's why I'm saying let's stop here, because at a certain point we're not so much, insulting the author or insulting the character as we are insulting the author. And insulting the author is something you never want to do because people can get better. Even if they don't seem like it, even if they're the worst person or the least best character ever, they can get better.
I'm like, oh, maybe J.K. Rowling is an example too.
I would put her as an example of okay person, terrible character.
Like, okay-ish, yeah.
Some of them are really bad.
I'm like reading off modern classics. I'm like, maybe C.S.
Honestly, I would have to reread the Harry Potter series to make a call on that, because I absolutely flipping love the series.
Oh no, a lot of the big characters are good characters. It's just some of them are not.
I know, I haven't read it in a long enough time where... Basically, last time I read it, I wasn't aware of how story stuff works. So, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you how good or bad a character is designed unless I read it again.
Like James Potter.
Oh god, James Potter. He was a jock! A bully!
So was Harry, technically.
Someone basically said Harry Potter is basically just a trust fund kid who becomes a jock, and as an adult, becomes a cop who marries his childhood sweetheart.
I've seen that.
Virgin
Really?
Weasley.
Yep, he's a wizard
versus-
cop.
It's like Virgin Weasley versus Chad Potter.
Oh dear God, why?
What even does that mean?
It's a dumb.
It's a dumb meme,
It
but
is
I love it.
Oh, obviously.
The Chad Courier, and the Virgin Lone Wanderer.
Soul Survivor.
My fucking favorite one of those is somebody who took it. It's like it's a comic, and you think it's gonna go just the regular way those go, and then it stops, and they both look at each other. And it's like, why the fuck is this happening? And then they go off and become a gay couple.
Hey, I love that.
With each other.
I love that. And then it's
What series is that?
I don't remember. I've only seen it like once.
I'm like, it's the Virgin Stride. And
Okay.
Virgin Walk sounds great, but we're going down.
Either way, so what do we have to say about this entire shebang? Like, what's the point here?
Basically, I'm looking back at I'm looking at my notepad, and it's like 10 different words that are like bulletin board, and I forgot how they work. But I think I already mentioned, like, you gotta look into the series lore before making a fan character. And if you already have a character that is completely original, there is some way to, like, rearrange it. Kind of like, would Uncle Crow count?
Yeah, he was basically an OC that Monty Ohm had been polishing for over 10 years, like using in various things. And
Really?
well, yeah, it was basically his main OC. His cherished, like, the one that he kept for ages. And he decided to put it into Ruby.
And everyone loves him.
Yeah, I was gonna make a bad. I was gonna say another example, but it's terrible. King Mogeko. And then we realized, oh wait, it's Mogeko.
Oh,
Nope.
Mogeko.
Mogege.
Okay.
Okay.
But I was like, okay, yeah, it's like, even if you have, like, a character that's been in the shelves, you still gotta, like, make some arrangements so it can fit into that, fit into that world. Which, it's like, maybe that's how most self-insert characters are like. It's just that you have to, like, definitely flesh them out. Like, okay, no lie, my courier character from Fallout is kind of like that. I'm like, let me just rearrange it, make her good soul. Have her look ugly with her scars. There we go. Have a big iron on her hip.
Half of my character entourage came from really stupid games with my cousins when we were younger, but I refleshed them so that they work in whatever universe I decided to plant them into. Gensokyo, my own thing, some other thing, an RP that me and Roy are gathering up pretty soon too, even.
Hell, even I redid my hero character. It's like, yeah, I gotta change her now. I'm changing her way more to fit the settings. Well, mostly cosmetics.
Yeah, because like I looked at her and the power and all that makes sense for my hero, but she looks like a JoJo.
She looks like, it's like, oh wait, that's me.
It's like, that looks like a freaking JoJo Mickey.
Like, yeah, well, at least my art improved, but yeah, the basics of creating a character for any series is to just implement what you learn from that series. You cannot just take something from another franchise and plop it there. You gotta, like, find, like, elements. Hell, there's the Power Wiki. That's very useful now. And the basics, blah blah blah. And it does help to play some of the games and read some of the manga. Or have a friend like Div who would, like, teach you the basics. Like, no.
Or say fuck all of that and somehow make something that's good despite never having exposed yourself to the series.
That's actually what I did
Take a
with my
wiki
character.
walk.
I did that with my character.
I think that happened to me in RPs too. I had no idea what I was doing because I hadn't roleplayed since I was in middle school.
There's a difference between doing it for an RP and doing it for like a story that's supposed to be set in a universe.
That is true. So
I know, but I mean, like, I still managed to make it mesh.
I think,
and I don't know how.
Yeah, I think role-playing characters are kind of like more lenient. I don't know. I rarely RP, guys.
It depends on the roleplay. It depends on how tight you guys are sticking to canon.
I still have flashbacks of the Demon Rhombus RP.
Like, I've been on both ends of the spectrum. Ones where they're very tight and particular about the canon, and others where it's just like, no joke. There was a Toho RP where I jokingly threw in a pair of Bionicle characters for a day. Like, they were supposed to leave at the end of the day because I was really bored. And everybody loved them so much they allowed them to stay.
Oh! Aha! I'm like, I realized, and I then lost. Oh! Here we go. Okay, so if you want to make something that could be, like what I like to do with, like, when creating a character in the series is that I'll look into everything that has been covered, and something that hasn't been mentioned, I would build around it. Like, let's say there's, like, a caste system in this particular... Like, a caste system wasn't even implemented in the series. What if I implement that into, like, my own original... somewhat original work, and, like, try to mesh it into the canon? And then, that doesn't mean that... I think it's also important to, like, you know, maybe you can have the canon characters hog the spotlight. Maybe because I'm very focused with, like, making character conflicts rather than physical and combat conflicts when I write stuff, which is
same.
It's like a bad habit of mine. Like, I do a lot of character studies rather than, like, the actual setting. And I try to be like Mary Shelley, Mary Shelley with the allegories of Frankenstein and his monster and all that. But that's like my forte, my tart when it comes to creating a character. Is that I'm mostly it's like I don't know how most people are, but when I make a character, it's mostly character studies and how I can implement it into, like, their physical attributes as well as mental. Because mental powers are half the battle. Are they?
Mental struggles, internal conflict. Whee!
Yes, that's a very important thing to remember, that not all, like, that's another reason why not to focus on, like, physical powers as opposed to, like, what is your character fighting for, like, not physically fighting for, but what do they want?
Fighting for?
A girl.
Okay, Zero.
Thank you, Zero.
You're welcome.
But yeah, like,
talk to Wob.
Give them dilemmas. Give them, like, that's pretty much it. Focus more on the character development than their power development. That's good for making video games where you have to come up with a bazillion moves, but nobody's gonna play a comic or a written story.
Exactly. Like, it's good with, like, video games, which I guess that's hard to, like, create a character from a video game series unless it's like an open world RPG or something in the midst where you have so much freedom with the main character.
And as I said, this character, if you actually flood their story with fairies, actually becomes somewhat interesting. If you get rid of the Yuka stuff and the Utsuo stuff and the Wama Lama Bing Bang Fing Fing Banana Banana Fofana sisters, then suddenly
everything else finished.
Then suddenly Zero actually becomes an interesting comedic villain. It's like, ha, I'm gonna rule the universe. Fairies!
One little fairy.
Also,
hi, Mr. Crocker!
I'd like to point out something that Makuta actually said earlier, in that this character is supposed to be based off of the idea of Mount Doom, or not Mount,
Dr. Doom.
wrong series, Doctor Doom. The problem is, Doctor Doom is a good character, because you want to know why? He has legitimate flaws. He has legitimate reasons for doing what he wants to do. Like, he wants to rule the world to bring it together, which in story, He has seen one possible future, and it is one of many where things turn out terribly. But in this one, because he rules, it turned out less terribly. The being that showed him this future even said, this is not even a fraction of the possible futures. But he has seen that if he rules the world, he can save the world from an inevitable destruction or a terrible fate. Zero, on the other hand, is a power-mad fanatic. He has no reason for doing what he's doing. None at all.
Why are you doing this?
There is no reason why he wants to rule the world. There's none given in this story. There's none given in the character. None of it there's no good reason for any of it.
But here's another question though. What about Mojo Jojo from the Powerpuff Girls?
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Mojo Jojo has a really simple reasoning. He wants to get back at his dad.
Okay.
Say whatever you want,
So,
but he's pissed at the Powerpuff Girls because they essentially upseated him. They threw him out of what he believes to be his father's love.
We could just give, like, if we were to rework Zero as a workable character, we could give him an incredibly simple reason, like, maybe he always, like, or let's see, what would be a good and funny reason to make a villain whose main weakness is fairies?
That's the problem, is those two are kind of mutually exclusive with a character like this. Either there's a good reason why he's there, or there's a funny reason, because it depends on what kind of story you're telling. Because if you're trying to make this a serious villain and not give them, a serious reason for doing this, you go into lol random evil.
I'd go for a funny reason, like
that would be fine in a comedy series. You just got to know what series you're going for.
Yeah.
And the problem is, he seems like he's trying to go for a serious character.
Yep.
The problem is, this doesn't work.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he needs to be retooled into a comedy series, and that's his natural environment. Even though it was created for a serious series.
Yeah. In a comedic thing, it would work, just like Saitama in One Punch Man. Mm-hmm. Because that's not a serious story. It does become serious, but it's serious in a way that it's like, what would a character like this seriously be like? Like, in a realistic world, what would he be like?
And most of the other serious moments is with the other characters, not the main character. Like, they know the threat of, like, here comes a big baddie that they can't beat. And they know they're trying so hard. It's like a normal one, but then for Saitama, when he comes by, eventually comes into it, which sometimes he never does from the newer stuff. It's like, oh, great.
The moment he comes into it, he just ends it because nothing can stand up to him.
Yeah, but it still gets serious for everyone else. They still shows they're vulnerable. They're weak too. They're normal. They're basically normal still.
Yeah,
he still has that serious moment for the normal players, like the guy who rode his bike around.
The licenseless hero.
Yeah, like with him, even though he fought, what was the Undersea King?
The Ocean King.
Yeah.
The Ocean King. Thank you. Yeah, he was fucked no matter what, and he still tried. He took it. I don't know how to say it. It was good. It's like it gave him a more of a human feel to it.
It was a powerful moment in the series.
Yeah.
Hell, Deku is a great example of a hero, like a great, well-written hero.
He's a modern-day, old-fashioned hero. You know, the kind that's trying to save everyone, who gets the girl, saves the world, etc.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very modern take on that idea. in that he's still finding out how to become that person. And even the person he looks up to, the one hero that he thought was the save everyone, get the girl, rule or save the world, has told him, and I think it's going to come as a real big like hit to him. You can't save everyone. You can only save as many people as you can. And I'm waiting for that shoe to drop in the series because that's going to be a real character development moment.
Oh yeah, there's kind of that spoilable, but I'm not gonna tell.
Don't tell.
I've read up to the modern point in them.
Yeah, I'm not far up in that series.
It kind of has dropped, but it needs to like fully drop.
Needs to hit him harder?
Not so much it needs to hit him harder, just it needs to sink in, really.
Mm-hmm.
But it might not, because it's not really that kind of dark story.
Damn.
But it would still be a great character point for him. Character development point. It really would be.
When you mentioned like well-written films, I'm like, with Sal from Wanahara, but then I was like, there was really no good reason that he was with the Red Sea. Oops.
No, he's just
a shithead.
Crazy, evil, and corrupted.
He's just a shithead.
Yeah.
Actually, Spaz, again, earlier I said about your list that you had.
Oh yeah, basically it was all the different variables, and funny enough, my argument was that all of these villains can work in the right context. You can have a villain who simply wants to destroy things just because they want to destroy things, but on the other end, you can give them a really complex, motive for doing so. And you can also have villains who are aware that they're doing bad things, and villains are unaware. You can have villains who feel good about what they're doing, and villains who feel bad about what they're doing. And some.
Yeah. I'm like, who is the bad guy in Captain America: Civil War?
What do you mean, as in the bad guy?
In the movie.
Who do you mean as in the bad guy? Like because there's not really a bad guy so much in Civil War as there are just multiple sides to the story.
Oh,
yeah, pretty much. It was basically just infighting.
Yeah.
Because it was a civil war.
Yeah.
So,
Actually,
I put war in quotations.
Actually, there is a main antagonist in that series.
Yeah.
Or I mean, in that particular movie.
Yeah, that guy.
Remember the guy at the end who was taken into jail?
Oh yeah.
The one that T'Challa.
The one that basically said that he had won because his goal was to divide the Avengers, which he did.
And he had no power.
I remember who you're talking about, but I don't remember who the fuck it was.
I don't remember his name either.
He really wasn't that memorable, that's why.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was
very memorable because it's like, sure, the Avengers defeated guys with superpowers and the ability to destroy worlds, but then there's this guy who lost his family in one of the incidents in the big incident in Ultron, who had a ability to just divide the team with the means of.
He used psychology to screw them up.
That just makes a really good antagonist.
And.
Yep.
Hell, I would say Doomfist is a good villain.
Now, here's a reminder. Not every single villain has to be sympathetic. You don't have to be able to feel for them, but you have to be able to understand what is their motive.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a good one.
Well, even then, I'll argue...
It's as simple as just for the evil.
I will argue sometimes you have villains who you can't know the motives of. Like, you have your Jokers, you have your Eldritch Abominations, you have your Slendermans.
That is true. Yeah, there are ones like that, too.
The thing with Joker is, there's so many iterations of him that it's hard to pin out one particular.
It's actually...
Well, really?
It was actually a fact that, no, there is actually multiple Jokers.
Jerome?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's multiple versions.
Well, yeah, there's been multiple iterations, but the reasoning is pretty much the same overall.
Chaos.
Than the other animated series, the
Or
video
the
games,
evils.
the other video games, and the Telltale games.
No, even the comic said that at one point there was like 3 Jokers at once, or it could be more. There's more There's not just one Joker.
Yeah, like I know that's what
time.
you were talking about, but I want it to be.
But then again, even evil has standards.
I think at this point we're just circling back to the same point of characters are not defined by their powers. This guy is defined by his powers and thus has become a really shitty character.
And it's not,
Yep.
this is not something new. There's been plenty of characters.
Oh yeah.
And it's like someone like a newcomer mistake. It's an honest mistake, and it's best that like there's guides to like fix that up, and it's best to.
This is just the
take
extreme
critique.
example.
Yeah, this is
Hell,
extreme.
I'm pretty sure somebody probably made an entire feature-length movie about focusing too much on your powers versus your moral character.
I'm like thinking that.
Gee, I wonder who could have done that.
Ring a
That would
ring a
be.
ding ding. I don't know. I think it could be just a diamond in the rough to find such a movie like that.
No, it's Battletoads. Now I remember.
God
What?
damn it.
It's
Of
always
course, for a
Battletoads.
Nintendo Wii.
But I called up my GameStop and they just yelled at me.
I mean, I tried to call my GameStop about that, but all they had was Bambi on the PS2. God.
I know the Game Shark code to get the hot coffee mod for Bambi.
Oh god.
Oh, no, we
Okay, I think this is getting a little.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go
Yeah, I
back.
think this has gone on.
A bit too far there.
Okay, so anyway, we have said our most of this thing for this stream anyway. It's a
Yeah.
terrible character. It absolutely is.
Yeah, we already established long ago, like, the means of, like, creating a good character and setting up examples of both a good hero and a good villain. Like, it shouldn't be necessarily black and white. I think what makes a good character is that it's more complex than that. Especially, okay, I don't like tooting my own horn, but, what, I forgot about tuning my own horn.
Oh right, I remember who it was. It was the guy's name was Zemo.
Oh yeah, Zemo. Yeah, he's like one of the better. I think he's like one of the best MCU villains, simply because he used psychology to like basically fight off all the heroes. Like the big overall lesson is that a character shouldn't be defined by physical strengths, but rather mental and characteristics. You can't have them one-dimensional. And respect women. You gotta respect women.
Oh my god, Vicky.
It's like I've been doing this for years. I gotta always flush them out like that.
You should see my face right now.
Man, there goes my demon.
Jane
There
Grin.
goes my monetization. But yeah, whew, I think that concludes this. I think I could look around to see if there's any more character analysis. Maybe next time we'll do a good character or a bad one. I don't know. I like my position to be more of like a guide person rather than flushing in my own stuff, but rather advising like how to make it. And then I don't know. It's like better for me, especially with Waffles Academy, which should be I don't know. I gotta talk to Diz more about it.
Yes, there needs to be some serious, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for?
TL.
Overalls.
Tables, ladders, and chairs.
And people
Yes.
not being stuck in Coleg.
Puleg.
Yeah,
That's literally why nothing happened.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna
Seth
do.
was Coleg. Seth was Kool-Aid.
But also, Mickey, let's be honest here, Mickey and Diz are the only real Wolfus people left. And that
Actually, I graduated college recently.
I've been done with college. That's why I'm more focused on being a guide, and like focus on. It's like I like being like more like trying to guide people to making characters in comics, which is what I like with Waffles Academy and developing newcomers. I like my part-time position in officing. Gives me more work to do, more flush in quality rather than speeding up with quantity. But yeah, that would conclude it. I might do a overall guide on creating a character within Toho, since like a lot of Office people are Toho fans. So I can look at this, take some notes, and then flesh it in like a guide, which is basically why I stream this. It's like analyzing this bad character and fleshing in like what can be well, like how we can fix this.
How you can establish a good character.
Yeah. I mean,
or even repair an old one that wasn't all that great.
Yeah,
that's why retcons are a thing. You can easily retcon stuff and remake the character.
Guys, let's press the retcon button. It's like my character is like meant to be a parody character. And then
fucking Saitama.
My character was meant to be a parody and a counter, but then it's like, you know what, I'm gonna flesh her into something more complicated, which I would like to get into. But other than that, this is basically a definitive guide on how not to create a character in any series and ways to like make it better, especially with newcomers who have like characters on their shelves. It may not be a Reimu or a Walla Walla Washington Zoo sister.
Walla Walla Washington.
But there's always gonna be a guide on those things. And with that, I think that can conclude it. And I think I want to play some golf after I go to the bathroom. So with that being said, this is ending to the terrible bad characters, Tales from Marysuefacepalm. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye!
Yeah, see ya.